Today we're going to talk about the 12 most common mistakes that men make while approaching women. And I want to make this video because I see so many guys making those mistakes, whether on boot camp with me or whether in real life, whenever I see a guy approaching a girl or one of my friends just wanting to approach a girl and he makes that mistake. And I just want to clarify a few things in this video and give you the most chances of succeeding in your approaches and whenever you approach women. And obviously through that, get numbers, get dates, and even girlfriends, whatever. So let's talk about that. We're going to dive straight in, and it's going to be a pretty cool video. Now, the number one thing that I see over and over is that men do not make their intentions clear. They just beat around the bush. They just try to avoid the subject. Like, hey, do you know where the bathroom is? Or, hey, do you know where the closest Starbucks is? Or whatever. And they try to be indirect every time, most of the time. And they try to be all friendly, talk about some bullshit, talk about the weather, whatever. And they never show their true intent. Like, hey, I just wanted to meet you because I thought you looked pretty, because I thought you looked interesting. I just wanted to meet you real quick. Or you caught my eye. I had to come and introduce myself, right? And just like by being clear about that, that's going to turn the interaction men to women. And if you don't make your intentions clear, the interaction is never going to turn into a fruitful sexual interaction. And so you don't need to tell her that she's so hot or so sexy or whatever, but you have to let her know that you're trying to talk to her because you want to get to know her, because she might look interesting to you, or she looks good, or she caught your eye in some way. Maybe you like her energy or whatever, but you need to make it clear that you're talking to her because you're interested in getting to know her, not where the bathroom is or where the Starbucks is, or just to talk about some bullshit. Now, number two, a lot of guys approach the girl, but then they don't have anything to say. And they don't really talk much. They expect the girl to do the talk for them. And if you do that, then she's going to feel too much pressure, man. And she's going to go away. Like, you want to lead the interaction. You need to take responsibility and lead the interaction. You can't just count on her to do that. And you have to do that because she doesn't know you yet. So you have to ask the questions, be genuinely interested in her, and just lead things so that you can make her feel more comfortable to keep talking with you, okay? Women don't like to think too much, especially if they don't know you that well. So if you let her carry the conversation, that's too much work for her. And if she doesn't know you, then she doesn't want to put in that work. So you gotta put in the work first in leading the conversations, asking the right questions, saying the right things. And after a few seconds or minutes of talking with her, once you reach a certain hook point where she wants to keep talking with you, she's going to start asking you questions. She's going to start investing more and more and more, right? But at first, you have to invest a bit more. So you invest a bit more in the beginning, but then eventually, as you progress in the conversation, she's going to invest even more, and it's going to even out. Like, your level of investment is going to match her level of investment. And sometimes her level of investment is going to surpass yours if you're really good. So that's one thing. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen as well is guys approaching from behind. How many friends have I seen try to approach a girl in the street and they just tap from behind or whatever, and the girl gets startled and she's like scared, and it starts the conversation in a really bad way. And the guys who do that, they usually start with a huge handicap in the interaction, because it can be a bit disturbing to have a guy just, approach them from behind. Sometimes it even scares them. And for them, they just feel like someone is creeping them from behind, and it's just not good. It's better to approach from the front or from the side. So either you approach from over your shoulder or from the front. If you see her coming, you just approach her from the front. Ideally, you want to square up with her as soon as possible. Okay, so point number 3, do not approach her from behind. Approach her from the front or from the side. Now, the fourth point is waiting for her to look at you first. I see so many guys telling me, well, she didn't look at me first, so I didn't want to approach her. I just assumed like she wasn't interested because she didn't look at me, right? If she had looked at me, then I would have approached her. And this is a flaw in thinking. You might think that waiting for a woman to look at you first is required, but it's not. Okay, it's not required for a woman to look at you first to start a conversation. You don't need that. That's not true. I've approached hundreds of women that weren't looking at me at all. And then I just pop up from nowhere and we have a conversation. Okay. Now it's better if she looks at you, of course. If she looks at you and smiles at you and whatever, that's an invite. But it's not going to be the case 80% of the time. So do not wait for her signal to make a move. If you find a girl attractive, make a move anyway. Now, point number 5 is when you talk with her, you don't make like a sexy eye contact or you don't smile, you don't smirk. Your facial expressions are lacking. You're not expressive enough. And I see this with a lot of guys who grew up, for example, in a culture that's very closed off. For example, in northern countries, I've worked with a lot of Russian guys, a lot of guys from Norway, Finland, Baltic countries, whatever. A lot of them have been, raised in, kind of a post USSR environment where people are a bit more closed off in their mindset, they're a bit more cold, and so they don't smile as much, they're not as warm as people in general. I mean, maybe when you get to know them, they are warm, but in the beginning, they're very closed off compared to other guys. And when you approach a woman, you have to let her know that like you're safe and you have positive intentions and that you are just you want to be enthusiastic and stuff. And the thing is, if you don't smile, if you don't have a great eye contact, etc., she might feel like, yeah, you're just boring, right? Or you're just a bit, yeah, you're just not that appealing, right? So you really want to be contagious with your energy and have a nice smile when you open them, have a nice energy. The eye contact should be good, on point. You want to keep the eye contact going. You want to have this sexy kind of seducing eye contact. And that helps a lot. Like, women, I mean, they're going to judge you based on that as well. So it's very important. And if you avoid eye contact, she's going to feel like either you don't consider her as your equal, like maybe you consider her as above you, or you're a bit intimidated by her, or you're just scared. So you want to make eye contact, keep that eye contact. Now, number 6, a big one, is a lot of you guys are not good listeners, unfortunately. And the reason why, and you can fix this, is because you're always thinking, oh, what's the next thing I should say? Oh, what if she says this? What if blah, blah, blah? And you start, while she's talking to you, instead of listening and being empathetic and really taking the time to understand her, no, you just instead, like you start thinking about the next thing you're going to say, the next thing you're going to say without listening, right? And conversations cannot be one-sided. Like listening is key, and it's going to make you a better communicator, and it's going to make you ask better questions and bounce off of what she says and say relevant things based on what she says. So you have to listen, because by listening, you can then make better comebacks and better suggestions and assumptions and give her better questions, etc. So make her talk as much as possible and listen to her, because women, if there's one quality that women love, is when a man listens to them and when a man gives them attention and takes the time to listen. So you have to be a good listener. Now, number 7, a lot of guys, unfortunately, have the habit of just complaining. Like they approach a woman and some of the first things they say are negative things. Like, oh, the city sucks actually. Oh, but the weather sucks here. Yeah, right now I'm kind of struggling with this. Yeah, right now I'm not. Yeah, like they start, kind of complaining about bullshit. And the thing is, if you just met a woman, you just approached her, she doesn't want to know about your negativity or your lack of enthusiasm. Instead, no, she wants to know that you're inspired, you're enthusiastic, you're positive, you're bringing good vibes, And ideally, you're grateful, like you're in gratitude, you're in positivity, right? And so you need to become a pimp, a positively inspirational and motivated person, a pimp. Positively inspirational and motivated person. That's who you need to become. You need to become the guy who always brings something positive to other people, who makes them laugh, who makes them have a good time, who makes them feel good about themselves, who is positive, right? So that's very, very important. That has been one of my main qualities. Whenever I'm with women, I'm very, positive, motivational, teaching them stuff, being fun, being cool, and I'm never negative most of the time, never. Now, number 8, this is one that I've seen with some guys, is just being too intrusive. A woman opening up about her life, especially like things that are deeply personal to her, it can be a big investment, especially if she just met you. If she just met you, I mean, she's not going to reveal all her darkest secrets and all of that. So you have to build compliance and investment over time. And some guys are just too upfront. They try to ask the girl like her favorite sex position after 20 seconds or whatever. And this could work. I mean, it could work. But the thing is, sometimes you have to just be calibrated. Some girls are not ready for those questions yet. Could be sexual questions, could be questions that are a bit inappropriate to ask the first few minutes of meeting someone. Could be different things, but don't be too intrusive. Like, make sure you build the right amount of rapport and you build compliance over time so that everything you say is smooth and just calibrated, right? You have to be calibrated. That's the best word to describe this. Now, number 9, you gotta be flirting with the girl. I mean, if you don't flirt with her, you're not gonna create attraction. And this comes back to point number 1. Like, you have to show intent. You have to start showing some statements of intent, basically, like just showing her that you're interested in her, that you like her in some way, right? That could be something like, oh, I love the way you look at me. I love your eyes right now. Or things like, I love your smile. Or things like, oh, so what do you do here besides breaking hearts? Or like things like that are a bit flirty, and that's going to make the interaction more interesting, and that's going to make the interaction more fun, and she's going to know that, oh, this guy, he's not here just to be a friend. Like, this guy is hitting on me in some way, and they're going to like that. They're going to like the fact that you're straightforward, that you're flirting with her, that you're assuming your intentions and taking ownership of that. Now, number 10, this is a big one too if you're meeting groups, is a lot of you guys, you approach a girl and she has friends around, but you don't acknowledge her friends, like you ignore her friends. And the thing is, beautiful women are rarely alone, especially when they go out to bars, nightclubs, etc. They're usually with friends, and so you have to be quick at identifying her friends, making friends with them, befriending them, and making sure that you leave a great impression. Because if you want to go home with her, or you want to maybe isolate her a little bit at some point or whatever, well, her friends need to trust you a little bit, or at least need to like you a little bit for them to not cock block you or not take back their friend, basically. So you need to acknowledge them, befriend them a little bit, get to know them a little bit, like just the minimum, like how do you guys know each other, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. Like, you just try to know their names, how they know each other, what they're doing together, etc. Like, just basic stuff, right? But just the act of doing that is going to make her friends respect you, and they're not going to cock block you. And then if you're really good, ideally, you want to set up her friends with other guys, maybe with your wingman or with other guys in the environment. But doesn't need to happen all the time. Now, number 11, this is something I've seen so many times, man, is buying her a drink without even getting to know her a minimum, right? Like, a lot of guys, they use the act of buying a drink as their opener. Like, oh, hi, could I buy you a drink? Fuck that, man. Don't buy a drink without having at least a minimum of a conversation. Like, build a connection first, get to know her a little bit, qualify her first, and then buy her a drink, right? Because if you just buy her a drink without anything, any context, well, yeah, she's gonna say yes to you to get the free drink, but then she's gonna leave, right? And how many times have I bought a drink to a girl and then a few minutes later she was eclipsed, like she went away, right? Many times, and that's a lesson. That's a lesson. I don't do that shit anymore. I only buy the girl a drink if we have a really great connection. Ideally, if I already danced with her a bit, maybe made out with her, etc. If we're already kind of together, then I buy her a drink, especially in a nightclub. Now, obviously, if we're on a date, of course, I'm gonna pay, I'm gonna buy a drink, etc. That's different. This is more for like nighttime environments, like if you go to a bar, a lounge, a nightclub, like don't just buy girls drinks without no context, right? And this is gonna lower your value if you do that, and a lot of women are gonna take advantage of you. So don't do that shit. Now, number 12, and this is probably the most costly mistake, is not approaching at all. Like there's no mistake worse than this one, because if you make this one, then you'll have no opportunities, no chances. And 80% of men are afraid to walk up to women. That's the truth. And you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy who can approach women, who approaches women consistently, who knows what to do and how to do it, and who's able to generate options on demand. And that's the type of guy you want to become. So yeah, and if you're interested in doing that, I can definitely help you with that. We're actually offering a few strategy sessions every single week. You can check out the link in the description. We have a free training, and if you're interested in learning our methods and learning our systems to potentially get to your goals with women, then you can pick a time and we can talk about it. So we have a free strategy calls that we're giving away. And by the way, whether you decide to work with us or not, that's not a problem. I mean, the call is going to be value packed anyway, and you're still going to walk away with a lot of resources and value, etc. So don't hesitate to book a call. It's still going to be very valuable. It's going to give you a lot of clarity, and it's going to be value packed. So see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next.